He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love,
love. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is another edition of Car Conversations on Jay Lee's Corner. Damn seatbelt choking the life out of me. Jesus. Okay. I hope everybody had a great hump day. The weather in Michigan is oddly warm for the winter. Meaning it's like in the 30s and stuff. But we don't like to get a coat. I just have on a nice little thick sweater. Okay? But yes, I know it's going to get colder sooner, but I'm, enjoying this only sweater weather right now. If you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and become a whole Jaybird. Okay? Because y'all know I love my Jaybirds. Why is people lights so bright all up on my butt? Go ahead on somewhere, bro. This is a little just random chit chat, car talk, car conversation as we have recorded. I ain't want to talk about much. A couple things in the news, and I'm like, let me talk about it on the way home. So, first things first. Remy was back in the hospital after having her baby girl for some complications from the surgery. She had a C-section. Had to get over real quick. Because I can't be behind no buses. She had a C-section, and I guess they said she lost a lot of blood, so she had to have like blood transfusions, and then after having the baby, all that kind of messed with her body. So she was back in the hospital. She's still in the hospital now, recovering, but they said she should be able to go home in a couple of days. Papoose did say, while she was in labor, that things were happening or whatever. I'm assuming what happened is she was induced, because they kept on saying the baby coming tomorrow, tomorrow's going to be a great day, which usually means, things have been planned to happen. And then I'm assuming that she either planned to be induced or she planned to be, have a C-section. But something happened with that, because he kept on saying she's a trooper and things are still happening, the baby's still on the way. So I figured it wasn't like a regular, my water broke, I'm in labor, all that stuff. It was in the plans, and then things kind of went awry. But she's still doing good, so we're going to send out prayers to me mine for a speedy recovery. I don't think people realize that having a baby is life-threatening. Like, you can die having a baby. People, you do lose blood, like anything can happen. So it's always a godly miracle when a mom comes through it, healthy and everything. So she's having a couple of complications, but we're gonna still wish her well, okay, because she's amazing. Okay, what else was I gonna mention? I'm trying to drive and do two things at once, but not do two things at once, but I was like, Juelz. So also that's enough, we just want to wish her a speedy recovery. Because I want to know what the baby name is. I know they kept calling the baby Golden Child, so I do wonder if they're going to name her Golden Mackie, because I think the last name was Mackie. But they have not released the name, so we shall see. Juelz Santana. Juelz Dipset. Ow. Juelz has been sentenced in his court case about the gun charge and also the drugs that he had in his bag at the airport back in, I believe it was back in March. When it happened. He was sentenced to 27 months in prison, which is 2 years and 3 months. Yes, 2 years, 3 months. Time he's gonna have to do. So we know on the show, on Black Heat Crew, on Love and Hip Hop, initially he thought, he would get like about a year. Year and a quarter, like a year and a half, something like that, like 18 months. But he later then said he could get 27 to 37 months. So he got, just the 27, not 37, plea. So, 2 years in prison. I think it's Fed prison, so I think it's a federal crime. Was it a federal? I think it was federal charges. So 2 years he'll have to do, and then once he gets out of prison, he'll still have to do 12 months of supervised, just probation or parole. Okay, if he do the whole 2 years, he'll get out. He'll have probation or whatever. If he gets out on parole, he'll be on parole for an additional year. I'm not surprised because he was already a felon before. So 2 years. 2 years is a lot in prison time, but 2 years is better than life. 2 years is better than 5. 2 years, if you are very strong and have a strong foundation and a strong, support system, you can do 2 years, you know what I'm saying? It'll seem like it just wasn't that long. And I'm pretty sure he'll get out early because everybody always get out early. They do like a year and a half or a year and a couple months, and they get out on parole, and then they kind of figure all that stuff out later. Oh, that person's car broke down. So he has not had to turn himself in yet. He has to go back. Well, not go back, but they just did not announce a turn-in date. He wasn't arrested or he was not taken into custody today. They're going to give him time to get his affairs in order, and then they'll go from there. So we shall see what happens with that. I'm pretty sure him and Kimbella are going to plan a wedding, have a wedding before he go in the same way that Yandy and DC's did it. And somebody commented, because I posted the story on my IG and my Facebook story earlier today when it first happened. And someone commented and said, well, you must not know that Yandy and Mendices ain't married. And I was thinking to myself, well, you must not know. I do know that, but I was just still saying they planned a wedding before Mendices went to prison. So that they just faked it. So I'm sure they're going to do that. Juelz did post a picture today saying, people keep saying how he waited so long to propose, but he knows it's going to last forever. Do you really? Now you do? Girl, bye. Not saying it won't, but I'm saying you waited a long time. You didn't wait this long to see if it will last forever. You did it this long because you was, pussyfooting around. Don't act like it was something that it wasn't when it wasn't. So don't try to hoodwink and bamboozle me. Okay, I did not land on Plymouth Rock. It landed on me. Anyway, so we see that whole thing. Other than that, Michael Rapaport, I still see him as Remy from Higher Learning, the white skinhead dude who shot Tyra Banks and who Omar Epps beat his ass until he killed himself. I still see him as the person from that movie. And sometimes, I come like, okay, that's funny, whatever. But half the time, I don't like what he be saying. Sometimes I feel like I just think he be so extra. Like he's always yelling. I don't think he has an inside voice. Even though he goes at Donald Trump, we all don't like him. But at the same time, I do feel like sometimes he just be going off the deep end. So on his social media today, I think on his Twitter and his Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, he posted a picture of Ariana Grande with no makeup. Her hair was this, down or whatever. Just a pic with no makeup, not made, her regular self, okay? Looked like she was maybe at a pool, so her hair was wet or whatever. And, he just commented saying you take off the makeup and the ponytail, and then, the boot she had her legs in, she's not even hot. There are women at Starbucks who are hotter than her. And I'm like, what did Ariana do? I was confused, what did she do? And people, because he said that she's 27, but she acts 12. And I'm like, okay. So my thing, because people was it was all backlash because of what he said about her. And they're so should, young girls feel like they have to have makeup on to look pretty and all this stuff. You're basically shaming her, saying you look too, basically you're not pretty. It's basically what he said. And my thing again was, what did she do for him to comment and say that? I'm like, did she say something about, I was just confused about what happened. So people were like, why would you say that? That's shaming her, blah, blah, blah. And of course, y'all can suck some dicks, who cares? I talk shit about the president, I talk shit about this person, about Kelly and Conway, all the other people, and there's no issue. But I talk shit about Ariana Grande, and y'all all have an issue. I think the reason they kind of had an issue was because I don't think she did shit wrong. I think the thing was, you kind of came at her for no real reason. Okay, I'm all for going at somebody who's doing some bullshit, who's on some kind of bullshit level, who's coming at people on some other, like, you go at Donald Trump for a reason, because he's a whole racist asshole. You know what I'm saying? And people who say dumb stuff. But I'm like, what did Ariana Grande do that you said that about her? So I think he don't get, that's the reason people were upset. It was because you went at someone who didn't do shit. Okay? She's an innocent bystander. It's like a drive-by, and you shoot the goddamn person walking down the street mowing the lawn. You know? She didn't do nothing to you. So, you know, that's why I say he has time to get on my damn nerve, because he's always just on one. And I'm not an Ariana Grande fan like that. I'm also not a fan. I've heard a song or two. You know what I'm saying? I think she's very, very talented. But she do act young. But I think she's an innocent little girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, some people are older and they act younger. It's not a big issue. But I also don't think he should have worded it the way he worded it. But as he said, I can say what I want. And he can, but you can say what you want. But you have to expect some people may have some conversations back at what you said. Okay, that's it about him. This stupid ass freeway. The last thing, what's the last thing? Got that. Yep, last thing, because I told y'all this is some quick little stuff. So, the TV show on called Love Is. You know, Love Is was a new show on we had season 1, season 2 is in production right now. And again, it's on Oprah's own channel. Okay, it was written, produced, or about Mara Brock-Akil and her husband Salim Akil and all that stuff about, you know, supposedly their love story. You know, it was based loosely on their love story and things that happened with them. Okay, but there were allegations against Salim Akil that he was like sexually doing stuff, how he kind of stole the idea for that show from the woman who's accusing him of sexual misconduct. You know, there's a whole lawsuit involved in it. So, OWN had decided to cancel the show Love Is. I am very upset. Very, very, very upset about it being canceled. I liked the show. I think I said when it first came out how it started off slow for me. It did start off slow. However, I grew to like it by like episode 4. I also said how, you know, the character, Yasir, pissed me off sometimes because he was egotistical, you know what I'm saying, just misogynistic about little stuff or whatnot. And that character was loosely based on Celine. The same way the Yari's character was based on Mara. But I did not think the show would be canceled. Okay, OWN chose to cancel the show based on the allegations against Celine. I think the girl also has a lawsuit against OWN as well. There's, you know, a lot going on. You know, it's crazy. Now, the girl who, you know, put up the allegations again, it's stuff that happened a couple years ago. She also was admitting to how they had like a little love affair, even though she knew that man was married. He did. I think it's the allegations that are against him are so, if they're true, they are like horrific, because, you know, she brought up how he, you know, would make her, you know, suck his dick and stuff, and at one point when she did that, he urinated in her mouth, and how he would like stick fingers in her body parts, okay, in her butt or her vagina, and like lecture her and yell at her about stuff or whatnot. And like this, it was a freaky deaky S&M abusive freaky deaky situation of things that happened over a course of time. It's his word against hers, okay? And in this Me Too movement of time, we really can't say, oh yes, that's true, oh no, that ain't true, because we wasn't there, okay? Why do I feel like I've been driving for a long ass? Oh man, I don't know. So, this freeway construction it makes things look different. But we don't know what's true and what's false. We know that she says things happen. We know he has vehemently denied her allegations. No one has been in court. There's no evidence for either of them. There's no evidence from her to prove what she's saying is true. He also don't have no evidence to prove what she's saying is false. He did admit that they did have a sexual relationship at one point in time. So again, it's he say, she say. But because of that, they have canceled the show Love Is. After one season, the show was very successful. It got rave reviews. They were in the process. They were in the process of shooting the second season currently, and they had to shut down production, because they decided to cancel the show. Probably because going on with the show that's supposed to be about this love affair, and the person who was kind of about or reminiscent of is in this legal drama, it's teen too much. And I completely get why the network decided to cancel the show. Mara Brock Akil put out a statement, not confirming, but just commenting on the fact that the show was canceled and how sad she was to no longer be working with the team of creators and the team of actors and, the team who they had put together to work on this project. Even though she said she know that she would work with them again on something different. And it's sad because she probably can't say much because, it's her husband, her writing partner, or whatever, and probably for legal reasons and also personal reasons. You know what I'm saying? She's in the middle. Because do you defend your husband because you don't think these things are true? Or do you distance yourself from your husband because you believe they are true? You know what I'm saying? So it's that whole catch-22 thing that we, don't know what's going on within the situation. I feel bad because not that I know them or that or whatever, but I'm always the person I feel bad when the actions of one affect many. So I feel bad that guilty or innocent, the actions of those two people, that man and that woman, has now affected all the actors, the cameramen, the staff writers, the set, everybody who work on the set, even the person who delivered the lunches, okay, even the lunch lady, even the person who stands around to hold somebody's pen in case they want to write a note. You know what I'm saying? They have all lost income because they're no longer going to be on this show. It's that losing a job is never good. At the same time, and my thing is that is all based on actions that happen between a man and a woman. Because again, I don't know if he's guilty or innocent, so I can't say. And now I'm to the point where I don't like I don't like acknowledging truth based on the accusation. I will acknowledge the accusation because I don't know what's truth or not. So my thing is, this is what she said happened, that he did these things. He said he didn't do it, and I'm going to leave it at that. I don't know what to believe. I do know that men who are married should not cheat on their wives. And I know that women who know men are married should not fuck somebody else's husband. And when you are fucking someone else's husband and when you are cheating on your wife, and then for allegations of, sexual misconduct and stealing of ideas come around, it's hard for me to take either person's side in it. I can't say, oh, well, he wasn't wrong for cheating on his wife. I can't do that. And I can't say, oh, well, she's the victim because she said he did this. Because it's a crazy situation. And I also feel like I said before, it's hard for me to be like, you were carrying on some kind of sexual relationship with this man who continued to do these things, and you continue to see him. So, and only that aspect of you dealing with a married man, you not no victim. Now, in the aspect of if he did these things to you, you are 100% the victim, and him losing his show is absolutely supposed to happen. Okay, but it's hard to say what's the right thing when you don't know what the fuck really happened. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's hard about this whole Me Too movement. We never know what really happened. It's always a he say, she say thing. And it's a thing of, even if the man say, well, we did have sex with all this extra stuff I didn't do. It's like, can we really believe him? Because he admitted to the sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, who do we believe? Because he said, well, yeah, we did have sex. But I didn't make a pee in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. I didn't pee in her mouth, or I didn't, forcibly do this or that or whatever, but we did have sex. And if he's a kinky person and that ain't her cup of tea, she should walk away. You know what I'm saying? Because if a man likes anal sex and you don't, and you continue to have anal sex with him, he isn't sexually abusing you. You are allowing him to do something that he likes, but you don't like, but you ain't saying you don't like it. Okay? So my thing is, I hope when he pissed in her mouth, she said, I don't like that. And then he no longer did it. But if she told him, I don't like you doing these things hurt me, and he kept doing them, to me, that's what abuse means. It means a person is doing something to you that is physically harming you. They are aware that you don't like it, and they still do it to abuse you. That's what abuse is. But abuse to me is not a man and a woman who like freaky shit, and y'all go too fucking far, and all of a sudden you call him an abuser. I don't think that's abuse. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a line. But again, because we wasn't there, we don't know. All we do know is the show is canceled. And I love the two actors who were in it, who played Yari, who played Yasir, and what's her name? Yara? I forgot that quick. The female character. So I hope both of those actors, get actors and actresses, all of them, get jobs elsewhere, so that they, can afford to feed their families or whatever. So that's all the little, I'm at home now, y'all. So thank y'all for coming along for my ride home on this car conversation station. Peace.
It's like love, love, love.